Twisted Cyclone is Six Flags Over Georgia's an RMC hybrid that was built in 2018, replacing the old Georgia Cyclone, which was a din wooden roller coaster, almost a clone of the Cyclone at Coney Island. Which, let's be honest, there's a lot of wooden roller coasters that are based on layout. But in 2017, they closed that ride and began the transformation to Twisted Cyclone. Rocky Mountain Construction came out and transformed this older wooden roller coaster into an absolute world-class roller coaster. And I'm going to tell you one thing: this is by far the most underrated RMC that I've done. And I say Jersey Devil is underrated. Like, I'm a fan of that one, and I was blown away by this one. Yes, it is the shortest hybrid. Yes, it is not a long ride, and yes, it doesn't have the most airtime, but it has a quality amount of elements, a great choice of elements, great moments of airtime, and I just think overall RMC did a fantastic job with this coaster. They flowed everything together. They created so many great elements with the ride. In today's video, I am going to be reviewing this amazing roller coaster and giving you guys my honest thoughts on it. I actually got to get the chance to ride this coaster 3 times. I got to do it once in the front row as well as the 2 times in the back, so I actually got a pretty good feel for this coaster. Now, I did ride this when it was a bit chilly, and I'm pretty sure the ride was not running its fullest, which gets me excited to come back to this coaster, just because if it is not running at its most potential when I rode it, those rides are gonna be insane when I get to ride it then. Okay, but besides that, I actually got a bunch of really good rides on. So yeah, let's start. So the queuing for this area, and actually was the overall plaza for Twist Cyclone, is actually quite nice. Six Flags did a pretty nice job with it. The buildings look nice. They still look fresh even after 5 years, and this is being its 6th season of operation. Now, the queue house isn't that big actually, so if you see like this queue, it's really just the first room with switchbacks, and you go up into the ramp into the station. And most of the time the park doesn't have the switchback open, so most of the time if the line is spelling out the entrance or is about to, they only have one switchback open, which in that case it's probably around a 10-minute wait. Like, it's not bad at all, and they're pretty good with dispatches, I'll be honest. They were actually like almost consistently rolling trains when I was there, and that was with only 2 ride operators doing the trains. I think Busch Gardens should take some notes with that one, but besides the point, I think the operations on this ride are fantastic. In the morning they were only running 1 train, but then by like midday they did put that 2nd train on. I don't think they realized that the park would be as busy, but besides that, I am glad they put the 2nd train on, and the operations overall are really good. So let's get into this ride experience now. Now, when you do get into these trains, these are your standard RMC trains. These trains have your standard seat belt as well as your standard lap bar. This lap bar is actually a pretty heavy lap bar. And obviously, we all know the procedure of these coasters. Seatbelt first, and then they check the lap bars. And yeah, they were doing really good for dispatches. But when you do leave that station, you'll make a turn into a little dip into a pretty nifty, really cool pre-lift. This is by far my favorite pre-lift that I've personally experienced on an RMC coaster. Some pretty cool hills as well as a really cool little outer bank twist, and then you engage your lift hill. You climb around 100 feet in the air, and then you plunge down your twisting drop. Now, I don't exactly know the exact descent angle on this drop, but I do believe it is in the 70s, which even it is still a pretty steep drop, giving a great moment of ejector airtime in that back car. After that, you're going to go into a reverse Cobra roll. All this really is 2 0G rolls that are going back to back, basically in the shape of a Cobra roll, but it's just 2 0G rolls. And then after that, they're really good inversions. They give some really cool hang time, especially if you're in the back car, and you get some really cool whip coming out of 2nd inversion. After that, you're going to traverse a wave turn. This wave turn gives a really good moment of airtime, like really good ejector airtime, and for all the train. In the front row, you get a violent pop, as in the back row, you actually get a pretty good sustained moment of ejector airtime. This is definitely the most sustained moment on the ride. And after that, I would consider this coming up the 2nd part of the ride. This is where I would actually say that this ride feels a lot like Steel Vengeance. You're going to fly up into a quick pop of ejector airtime, crazy sustained moment, like your shirt will lift up. Like, it is that crazy. You're going to traverse an overbank turn. This is just a standard overbank. There's absolutely nothing special with this. And you're going to hit another airtime, another really good sustained moment of ejector, especially in that back row. Once again, another shirt lifter. After that, you're going to go through the 3rd and final version of the ride, which is a 0G roll. This is a very typical inversion found on like literally any RMC out there. This is like the perfect inversion for an RMC coaster. RMC has mastered the 0G roll. This one isn't whippy like the one in Steel Vengeance. I actually say this is very similar to Twisted Timbers, where it's a lot more floater hang time, and I will say it is a really fun sensation. I really enjoy it. After that, you're going to hit 2 more ejector pops of airtime, so reminiscences of Steel Vengeances in the 2nd part of the ride. Really good moments of ejector airtime. And then you're going to go into the structure like Steel Vengeance and traverse an overbank turn, and you're going to hit a quick pop of twisted ejector airtime, and that's a good moment on the ride right there. That's a great moment of ejector for the full train. You're going to hit a turn into your brake run. Now, overall, this is a really short ride, but yet it packs so much airtime and great inversions within such a short and short layout and such a short ride time. I think RMC really did use their magic on this ride, and they fit everything they could in such a tight space. Yes, they could have done the third lap, but I don't know about the pacing. The pacing on this ride is just absolutely incredible. But overall, for Twisted Cyclone, it is an absolutely amazing coaster, and for its final score, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. I think RMC did a fantastic job. This is by far the most underrated roller coaster from the manufacturer I've done as of now. I am going to be riding some more RMCs later this year, including the brand new Air Force One, as well as the Texas RMCs. So yeah, I'll be able to ride those, but as of now, this is an absolutely incredible RMC. They may be asking me, well, how do I rank this RMC? Honestly, it is my least favorite hybrid. The other three hybrids I've done is Twisted Timbers at King's Dominion, Steel Vengeance at Cedar Point, and Iron Gwazi at Busch Gardens. So it has a lot of competition. And even though it is my least favorite, I still think it's absolutely incredible. This coaster at this time does place in my top 15, which shows you it's just an amazing quality attraction. Six Flags Over Georgia did an absolutely amazing job with this coaster, and I'm hoping we can see some more RMCs like this come to the Six Flags chain and even around the world, because even if they're this small and this short, they can obviously be really good. Now, another thing to point out, this is one of RMC's last coasters to use the older style trains that the manufacturer made. Right now, this is the only RMC I've done with these older trains, and they run just like the newer trains, like the new steering axial trains like Twisted Timbers and the other RMCs I've done have. But actually, this train has less wheels as those. Those actually have a lot more wheels. But besides that, they don't really make a difference, and the lap bar and seatbelt system are the exact same. The only thing I will say, the newer ones tend to seem to run faster with them. I don't know. But overall, it's absolutely amazing coaster. And that is going to do it for today's coaster review. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And one thing before I go, if you guys want to get free off-road footage with no copyright, I don't upload it anymore to this channel. I have a whole channel dedicated to that where I upload every 2 days, and we have uploads for months ahead. If you guys want to use any of that footage, go check it out in the link in the description. That's going to do it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. What do you guys think of Twisted Cyclone? Is it one of your favorites? Is it your least favorite hybrid? Or do you guys think it's okay? Or do you guys think it's incredible? Leave all the thoughts in the comment section down below. I'll see you guys in the next video, and bye everyone.